generational wealth. I don't want my kids to have to struggle or anything like that. I got obsessed and I just been digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. So that's how I got here. Shirts, mugs, general merchandise. I used to do t-shirts too. That was fun for a while, and then it was a lot. I had to let the shirts and stuff go. Kids transportation, that's interesting. What's kids transportation? Is it like school buses or like little school vans? I've never heard of that. Okay, y'all. I feel like, well, I'll wait one more minute. It's 7:04. I'll wait till 7:05 because I like to be on time. I know y'all have things to do. I don't want to waste your time. I want to respect it. So I'm gonna wait about one more minute for people to trickle in. Passenger van pickup and drop off to school. Oh, I like that. That is very convenient. Hey, Tashina. We're just in here getting to know each other while people trickle in. We're gonna get started in maybe another minute. Real estate. Oh, look. Real estate looks so glamorous. I wanted to try real estate, but I literally cannot sell water to a fish. So I feel like do not play in these people's face. I don't even want to waste my time. Okay, my clock says 7:05. So, okay, let me see. Let me log the screen and see if I can. Y'all, this is my first time, so please, please, please be patient. I don't even know how to see what y'all see. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Is it a green screen that says Fundable CEO? Yes. Okay. All right. I'm gonna be good after this. After this is I'm gonna be bumping my head, but after this, I'm gonna be okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started because, like I said, I want to respect your time. So my name is Quenisha Morgan. I'm so happy you guys showed up. I still want to be able to see the chat. Oh, it just pops up. Okay. So I ain't gonna worry about it. We're just gonna push through, baby. We'll figure that out later. So my name is Quenisha Morgan. I am a tax strategist. I started out, hold on, let's move up. Here we go. I started out working for a smaller company. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I got scammed. I worked for this company for 6 years as a tax preparer. Got scammed for 6 years. And the crazy part is I knew I was getting scammed, but I was too afraid to just like step out on faith and do everything on my own. I like freak out and crash out sometimes. So one day I was having a conversation with myself and I was like, you know what? You can do this job with your eyes closed and your hands behind your back. So why are you letting these people take advantage of you? So I made the decision right then to go out on my own. However, even though I made the decision and I made the plans, I was like too afraid to just do it. I needed a push. I'm like one of those people. I'll do all the research, all the back end work, and then be scared to take the step forward. Well, one day I went to my 9 to 5. Well, so my baby was turning 16. Here's my baby. My baby was turning 16. Now I'm a dramatic mom. I have been planning her sweet 16 since she was 14. I did all the things at my job. I put in my PTO request like months ahead of time because I was going to do it big. Come time for me to take off, my supervisor tells me you cannot take off because we're short staffed. I'm like, okay, but I spent about $6,000, so I'm going to take off. And she's like, no, if you take off, we're going to have to let you go. The business needs come first. You know how they do. Y'all, that was what pushed me over the ledge. Because I mean, some things are more valuable than money. For me, it's my babies. So when I got that push, I said, you know what? I'm going to do what I have to do because I never want to be put in a situation where it's either my kids or my job. Went out on my own. Very first time working for myself, I earned 36,000 in 3 months, literally. And I didn't have to answer to anybody. It was just me. So then I had another conversation with myself. I was like, okay, if you can make 36,000 in 3 months, like, what are you doing? Let's imagine if you went 100 and went all the way in. So I went out, I got my LLC, I got my EIN, and it's been up ever since. So now look, let me ask you guys, because I feel like, yes, I have issues, but I cannot be the only one. Has anybody ever been in a situation where you knew you were being taken advantage of, you were not being treated right, but you were just too afraid to walk away? Let me admit these people. Am I the only one? Okay, I'm just the only one. Because all of my friends are like, girl, what is the problem? I started thinking I was crazy. Okay, I'm not the only one. So y'all make me feel a little comfortable. This is my circle. Okay. So yeah, I finally got to that point, and y'all, ever since I decided to step out on myself, I just been going, going, going. Most importantly, I want the kids to see me succeed so that they know that it's possible. So this is like a big deal for me. Mhm. I can't see these people as I'm presenting. Well, let me try this. We're gonna do this. Okay, so here I am now. I decided to create this program specifically because in my years of preparing taxes, I've had quite a few small business owners as my clients. I build really good relationships with my clients. I have some of them that text me like on a regular basis. They'll text me off season and ask me all these questions. We just have a bond. So a lot of them would come to me feeling let down, feelings hurt because they got denied business funding. Now, I'm the type of person who does a lot of research. I am like a research addict. I dig and dig and dig until I have all the answers. So eventually I got to the point to where I would tell them when they would come to me and say they got denied for this, denied for that, I would ask them, okay, so what did you say? What did you present them with? What happened? And I could always tell them what went wrong, and it was always something small. And I just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I care about people. I want people to win. I'm just a genuine person. So at some point, you want to help other people. Like, you don't want everybody around you to keep hitting the same wall. And let's just be honest, when it comes to funding and getting money and 6 figures and 5 figures, it's not set up for us. America, they want you to break bread. They don't want to give you money. So I decided to create this course because I want to teach people how to win. That's why we're here. I have been there. Me and my husband, we had it. Well, at the time, he was my husband, but that's another story. But we had a few businesses. We crashed, child, and burned because he didn't like to listen. I would give him, I'm like, look, I looked this up. Just listen to what I'm saying. But you know how men are. Sorry if it's some men in the chat, but they don't like to listen. So we crashed and burned a few times. And I learned my lesson. I figured it out. I have the formula and I want to share it. So that is why we are here today. Okay, so I'm so happy you guys trusted me. I'm going to go ahead and get into it because now it is 7:11. And like I said, I want to respect your time. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so this is the agenda. As you guys can see, I have 6 bullet points. Each bullet point is a module. So when I complete a module at the end, I'll open up the floor for questions and answers because I want you to be able to leave with information that you can actually use. Okay, so day 1, we'll do the first 2. Day 2, we'll do the third module because I'm going to be honest, it's information heavy. There's a lot of strategy, a lot of skill in that. So I'm going to do that just completely day 2. And then I'll wrap it up on day 3 with the rest. So we're going to cover how to set up your business structure. Believe it or not, a lot of people ruin their chances with business funding over this. And even though it sounds basic, I'm just going to go over to make sure you got it because I don't want you to get denied for something petty that you could have fixed had somebody told you. Then we're going to cover how to set up your business bank accounts, how to choose, apply, and get approved for net 30 accounts. I know y'all have seen numerous YouTube videos about net 30 accounts. If you look up business funding, literally all you see is net 30, net 30, net 30, net 30. Same thing I saw. I could tell you now, they do not tell you everything, but I have it figured out. So I'm gonna share that with you. We're gonna go over how to structure your business revenue. Even if you don't generate a ton of money, you do not have to, your business does not have to be profiting 50, 60,000, 100,000. You can structure your revenue, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. We're gonna cover how to create lender approved profit and loss documents. You don't have to hire a bookkeeper, a CPA, pay QuickBooks. I will show you how to do it yourself, how to create the document and everything. And then last but not least, we're going to go over how to complete funding applications and go through the lender interview process. A lot of people don't know this, but you do, depending on how much money you're requesting, you do have to do a lender interview, and we're going to cover that as well. So let's get this money, child. All right. First and foremost, let's cover the basics. EIN, tax ID, LLC. And EIN is your business's social security number. So when you're thinking about your business, I want you to think about it as if it's a person. Just like you're a person in America and you need a social security number, so does your business. A lot of people don't think that they need it because it's called employer identification number. So they feel like if I don't have employees, I don't need an employee identification number. You absolutely need one. Whether you're in a sole proprietorship, LLC, corporation, you absolutely have to have one. One thing I want to show you guys how to do is to get the EIN, because I've had a few people to come to me and tell me that they paid a service to get the EIN for them. You do not need to pay anybody. It is free. It is easy. Please do not throw your money out of the window with the EINs, okay? So real quick, we're going to go over to the IRS website, the website everybody hates until tax season. We're going to go down to File, Business, Employee Identification Number here. They changed this up a little bit. It used to go right up in here, it would say apply, but it doesn't say that anymore. Let me use my touch screen because the keypad is messing up. Scroll down, it'll say apply online. Here we are. Click here. Okay, and we'll scroll down a little more. Apply for EIN. So when you go here, it's going to pop up a questionnaire, begin application, and it literally is a questionnaire. It's not difficult at all. When you get to the end, you'll get the EIN number right away. You'll get the document printed out, keep it for your records. Please, 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 please do not pay anybody to do this for you. I just showed you how to do it. You can do it yourself. Okay. Now moving on to the tax ID. The tax ID is how the IRS identifies your business. Your EIN is your tax ID. A lot of people think when they see documents, it says tax ID, and they're like, well, what is my tax ID? The EIN and the tax ID is the exact same thing. The EIN is a type of tax ID. Okay, so if you're filling out any type of business applications, documents, and it's asking for your tax ID, it is really asking for your EIN. Okay, now do not confuse the tax ID with the sales tax ID. That's two completely different things. So if you have a business and you have to buy a lot of product, like for wholesale pricing, and then you resell it for profit, then you would need a sales tax ID. So my husband and I, at the time, we had a business where we would sell stuff on Amazon. So I would go to the stores because I'm the shopper, of course, and I would just buy, like if I saw something I knew I could make money off of, I would buy the whole shelf or something like that, or 50 of one thing, 100 of one thing. I would get to the register, show them my sales tax ID, and then I would get a discount because I didn't have to pay taxes on anything. That is the purpose of the sales tax ID. So that's completely different. Do not confuse the two. Now, the LLC is a business structure that keeps you separate from your business. So if you are a sole proprietorship, if you've never filed for an LLC, you are a sole proprietorship, okay? So if you're a sole proprietorship, just say, God forbid, something negative happens with your business. People will come for you because you and your business are one, right? But if you file your LLC, you're one person, your business is somebody else. So if something negative were to happen, they would come for your business and they would not come for you. You would be protected. So Definitely file an LLC. You can obviously start off as a sole proprietorship, but at some point, please graduate to an LLC. Not saying something bad is going to happen, but if it does, you don't want the people coming after you. Okay. So now we're going to move on. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this slide. I just want to touch on it because this is a tax planning slide, but a lot of people get confused about the S Corp. So I'm going to explain that as quick as I can. So we already know what an LLC is. It's a business structure, keeps you separate from your business. It's great for new businesses. We got that. Okay. So the S Corp is not a business structure. It's a tax filing status. So you know how when you file your taxes, you have to let your tax preparer know if you want to file single, head of household, married, filing joint. Okay. That is your tax filing status as an individual. So for the S Corp, it's the same thing, but for the business. Now, the difference is it's a tax advantage, but it's not for everybody. It depends. So when you file S Corp, one, you have to run payroll because you are an employee of your business. So you would have to pay yourself. So at the end of the year, you would receive a W-2. You personally would receive a W-2 from your business, and then your business would receive its own tax documents. Now, the benefit is, so if you're an LLC or sole proprietorship, you have to pay 3 types of taxes. You know, when you look at your check stub and you see Medicare tax, Social Security tax, and federal income tax withheld. You have to pay all 3 of those on your profit that you make in your business if you just file LLC, which is crazy work to pay a lot. Now, if you file S Corp, you don't pay all 3. You pay a part of one, the Medicare or the Social Security, and then you pay full federal income tax withheld on the portion of money that you paid yourself on payroll. Because like I said, you have to be an employee of the business. And then whatever else is left out of your profit, you only get taxed federal income tax withheld. So no Social Security tax, no Medicare tax. So you really save a lot of money when you file S Corp. The only thing is you cannot classify yourself as S Corp until you are generating at least between 50 and 80K in profit every year, like consistent. So if one year you do 50, the next year you do 30, then you do 60, then you do 40, that's not for you. But if every single year your profit, not your revenue, your profit is between 50 and 80, then you might want to have an S Corp conversation, because if you're doing 50 and 80 in profit and you're paying all 3 taxes, that's a lot. So then you want to have a conversation like, okay, wait, maybe I need to pay myself so I can save some money. Now, if you guys downloaded your dashboard, if you didn't, it's in one of your welcome emails I sent you. I have actually given you a chart that compares the LLC without the S Corp status and then with the S Corp status. And then it has a few little questions at the bottom to see if you qualify for it. If you do, we're good. If you don't, people are coming in. If you don't, then, or if you're unsure about it, you can always reach out to me, do a text planning call. We can figure it out, look at your specific situation, but it is a benefit. But that is the difference between LLC and S Corp. Are y'all with me? Does everybody understand the difference? Put a 1 in the chat if you understand LLC versus S Corp. I just want to make sure you're with me. I want to make sure you're retaining the information. Are we good? Okay, we're good. All right, let's move on. Okay, this is an important one, y'all. Please, please, please take notes on this one. Let me make sure everybody's in. Okay. All right, this is a big one. So, choosing your NAICS code. You don't hear a lot of conversations about the NAICS code, but it is so like, oh my God, it is so important. So the NAICS code is a 6-digit code that tells the banks, the governments, and the lenders what type of business you run. It basically tells them what you do, right? And based on what you do, they determine if you are a high-risk industry, medium risk, or low risk. There are thousands of codes. Out of the thousands, about 250-ish are considered high risk, maybe 150 or medium, and then you have the low risk codes. If you have a high risk code, you will absolutely get denied for business funding. So this is super, super important. You can have everything right. Your credit score is high, like everything is picture perfect. If your code is high risk, you are going to get denied business funding. So if you have ever applied for business funding and you're like, man, I got everything right, I don't know what's going on, it's probably like 98% because of the code. Okay. The crazy part is if you're in an industry where you have to purchase insurance, so just say you're a trucker or something like that, they have to purchase insurance. Your insurance premiums will be expensive. They'll raise the amount because you're a high risk industry. So this code is super, super, super important. A lot of people also don't know is what a lot of people also don't know is when you file your taxes, the software actually asks the tax preparer to put in the next code for your company when they're doing your business taxes. So if they put in a high risk code, of course your taxes gets into the IRS. They see your code and it kind of makes them want to dig more to like, they're like, oh, this is the high risk industry. Let me make sure they have the documents right. Let me make sure they have this, they have that. So it puts you at risk for audit. Okay. So listen, when I tell you it's a big deal, it's a big deal. Now, if you notice this little golden VIP coin on the screen, I place those coins on the slides that I have given my VIP attendees an extra resource for. Okay, so if you see a gold VIP coin, this means that I gave the VIPs a resource for this. So VIPs, please, please, please go check your dashboard. I gave you guys some premium stuff. It's not too late to upgrade to VIP. If you're a regular attendee, go to your dashboard. It's a little VIP coin just like that next to my picture. If you click on it, you can upgrade to VIP. So for my VIPs, I gave you a next code blacklist. So what I did is I did the research because y'all know I'm extra. I do a lot of research. I did the research. I gave you 90 codes and I color coded them. So all the red codes are high risk. And then I have the yellow codes as medium risk, and then the rest are low risk. So go through that, look and see what your code is. If it is a high risk code, you can switch it out for one of the low risk codes. Now, here's the thing. You're probably like, okay, well, I don't have a next code. Yes, you do. If you have an LLC, you have one because you have to choose the code when you form the LLC. So I can't remember how they worded, but during that process, when you're answering those questions, you actually selected a code for yourself. So if you don't know what it is, go to the Secretary of State website where you can see all your business information and it'll show you what the code is. I'm gonna go to the Next Code website to kind of show you what they look like, how to figure it out. But you definitely have one if you have an LLC. You do not want it to be high risk. Okay. Also, in your on your free dashboard, I have a link where it says tools you can use. I have the Next Code blacklist listed there. So you can go and download it if you want to download it. Now, here's the thing with the Next Code. The trick to it is you have to be able, you don't have to lie, you don't have to falsify documents or do nothing like that. You have to be able to explain what you do, but like in a presentable way. If y'all have ever heard of code switching, it's kind of like code switching. So if you're a truck driver, you're not going to say, I'm a truck driver. You need to make it sound fancy, like professional. Now, what I have learned is if you're in a high risk industry, one, your next code does not have to solely be based on your main source of income. So if you do multiple things, you can choose the service that you provide or the product that you sell that's safe and base your next code off of that. That is a part of your business structure. It's safe for you to use that code. Okay. Another thing, you can have a safe next code, but then if your business name is high risk, you can get denied. So what I suggest you do, which is what I had to do because my business name is Premier Tax and Financial Solutions. Tax industry is high risk. So first off, I had to go and change my next code because I didn't know any better when I first started it. So I had to go and change my next code. But what you could do is keep your same business name because you've already paid that money. You already had the LLC. But go back. You can change your next code for free in most states. But then you're going to go back and do an amendment to your LLC and add a DBA. So your DBA is going to be your safe title. So then whenever you fill your documents and stuff out and it asks you for your business name, you're going to put your actual business name. If it's a high risk name, you just have to put that there. But it usually also asks you what is your DBA, and then you will put your safe name. And then moving forward, everything that you do, your business cards, your flyers, your signs, shirts, your posts, everything that you do after that, you would have the DBA, the safe name. So when the lenders go and they try to Google you or research you, they'll always see the safe name and you'll be good. Y'all with me? Put a one in the chat if you understand. You understand the NAICS code. You understand you cannot be high risk. You're not allowed. And you know how to like fix it if you just messed up and you chose a high risk code. Actually, Nardia, mentorships are good. Lean more towards education, consulting, or giving advice, business to business. All that stuff is safe. But if you are, let's say, for example, makeup artist. A makeup artist is considered high risk. However, now, obviously, if you're a makeup artist, you go and you do people's makeup, right? But if you offer classes, or if you're doing like, I think they call it like sip and beat, where you do like a little party or something and you teach people how to do their makeup, then you can switch your NAICS code to a beauty school, because you're leaning towards the education part of it. Y'all get what I'm saying? Give me a one if you understand what I'm saying. So I want to make sure y'all are with me, because this is super, super, super important. Casey said, but I'm getting there. Okay, let me go to the website. I feel like it'll make a little bit more sense. So NAICS.com. All right, this is where you would look up your NAICS code. I promise you guys, it's gonna come together when I get to messing around with it. Okay, so I'm at NAICS.com. I'm gonna put in for my code search. Let's say, okay, let's do caterer, because caterer is actually high risk. Caterer. All right, so when I type in caterer, you see the industry pops up on the NAICS title. Over on the side, 722-320, that is the NAICS code. So if you are a caterer, you will go to the SOS site where you formed your LLC, look and see if this is the code that you have, right? So, okay. I can tell you, I just know that this is a high risk code because I've had caterers as clients. So that's why I chose that one. So I know the caterer is high risk. You call me, you're like, Quenisha, I'm unsure, is this good? I'm like, girl, no, you need to change that. Instead, you could just say you offer catering for big events. Because typically caterers, they do big events. Well, they have a code for, it's like trade show something or convention, something like that. Let me see. Here we are. Convention and trade show organizers. So I would type this in. This is the code that pops up. But just to double check it, I would click here and then scroll down, and it'll show you what all falls under this code. So event and meeting planning services, flower show managers, craft show, all this stuff. So that's why I said if you do catering for events, it will fall under this, because like it says, event and meeting planning services. Now, if you are an event planner is high risk. I would tell you to choose this code instead, because event and meeting planning falls under it. So let's do another one. Let's say personal trainer. Personal trainer is high risk. But there's one, sports, it's like a sports education or something like that. Let's put instruction. Is it sports instruction? Here we are, sports and recreation instruction. Scroll down. Now, this is a personal trainer, but I'm leaning towards the education aspect of the industry, because yes, you're a personal trainer, but you're teaching people how to work out and how to be healthy and stuff like that. So this is most likely going to be the safest version, because like I said, the education stuff is safe. Advisory is safe. Business to business services is safe too. karate instruction, gymnastics, and it's basically sports instruction, all sports. So I would tell this person to go for this code instead of the personal trainer code. So, okay, somebody give me your industry. No problem, Nadia. Give me your industry, and I'm going to tell you if it's high risk, and then we'll look it up and see what a substitution could be. Let me go back to this page. Real estate is absolutely high risk. So let's put real estate in. All right. Wait a minute. Not I can't spell. Real estate. Now, depending on what type of real estate agent, because obviously real estate is different, it's levels to it. But property manager is a safe one. Non-residential property manager. Oops. I'm trying to use my keyboard and my screen, so it's kind of messing up. I would say, let me click on residential and see what pops up. Patrell, I didn't even speak. How are you? Welcome. I'm going to be honest with you. I would tell you to choose this one. Managing residential real estate, property managers, residential property management, resort or vacation property. I would absolutely tell you to do this. It's not, I mean, you're kind of dressing it up what you do without telling a bold-faced lie, basically. And then if the name of your business is just say Pat Real Estate Services, I would tell you to play with the name a little bit so that you lean more towards like business to business type of product sale type of thing, or consulting or something like that, because consulting is always safe, education is always safe, business to business services is always safe. So I don't want to take a whole lot of time on that, y'all, because I told you I wasn't gonna waste your time. So next code is super, super important. If you check your SOS site to see if you have a high risk code, you can get the next code blacklist if you need to. If you have a high risk code, change your code for free. If the name of your business is high risk, go back, do an amendment, and give yourself a safe DBA. Put consulting or something at the end. Enterprises, something like that, where it doesn't specifically say, it's kind of like a roundabout thing. It doesn't specifically say I'm a real estate agent, if that makes sense, y'all. Okay, so now we're going to move on to visibility. Visibility is super, super, super important with business funding. Let me tell you why. Lenders fund businesses that appear to be super credible. Okay, so you have to give Nike vibes or Ozarka or something mainstream. If you were to Google Nike, of course, 1,000 things are going to pop up. If you Google Ozarka, 1,000 things are going to pop up. Lenders are absolutely going to Google you just like customers will Google you. Okay, and when they Google you, you need to pop up in as many places as possible. Now, I suggest you listing yourself on 411. 411 is a public directory, but it's electronic. So remember back in the day, I might be telling how old I am, but back in the day, they had the yellow pages and the white pages. I can't remember which one was which, but one of them was for businesses. This is basically the same thing, except it's online. So I would suggest that you list yourself on 411 because listing yourself on 411 is free. Now you can list yourself under the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, but you're going to have to pay at least $300. Now they get a lot of credit. They are well respected, but you can get the same amount of visibility, the same amount of accreditation by listing yourself on 401. So why not take the free route versus a $300 route? Now, if you have it in your budget to pay to get listed on the BBB, I will 100% tell you go ahead and pay, because like I said, the BBB is a heavy hitter. But if you don't have it like that, but you still want that type of visibility, list yourself for free on 411. Now, I do have a walkthrough video that I did for a client where I went to the 411 website, went through all the codes and stuff to get yourself listed. I can send that to you guys if you would like. If you do, put a yes in the chat. to see if you want it, then I can send it to you at the end of this. Okay, so I'll send it out. But absolutely, excuse me, absolutely, y'all, list yourself under 411. List yourself under Google Maps. Google Maps is a hard hitter when it comes to business funding. Why? Because everybody Googles everything. So if somebody comes to me and they're like, hey, I want to go to this new restaurant. We want to try it out, see what they're about. The first thing I'm gonna do is Google it. I'm gonna be like, okay, well, let me look at the reviews. Let me look at the menu. Let me look at the location. Let me look at the prices. Okay, lenders are the same way, as well as your customers. Getting yourself listed on Google Maps is top tier. It's actually not difficult. The only thing you have to do is go to the Google account, set up a business account with Google. And once you go through the questionnaire to set yourself up, they'll ask you, do you want to be listed? Click yes. Now, they'll tell you to put in all your business information, and then they're going to ask you to verify yourself. Believe it or not, I'm still going through the verification. I'm like, come on, it's Google. Why is it taking so long? They're either going to ask you to send pictures, send a video, or send or they're going to do a phone call. Do you need a build, or can you use you can use a virtual address? That's actually on my next slide. So they're either going to ask you for a video, phone call, pictures. Now, I got the video. I was like, well, we could just do a phone call. So when you do the video, and when I was doing my digging and my researching, I've been seeing that Google will make you redo the video so many times. This is like my third time doing the video. But when you do the video, they ask you to pan the camera around so that they can see the business building. They're looking for a sign. They want to see the business building, the businesses that are around you, and the street signs to make sure everything adds up. So I have a virtual address, Patricia. So we're going to get to that next. I have a virtual address, and the lady that runs the business, she's really sweet. So I told her what I was trying to do. She actually rearranged. She kind of like, what do you call it? What do you call it, Patricia, when you're getting the house ready and pretty for the people to come and see? Yeah, she staged it. She staged the office to make it look like it was my actual office. So she had my signs and my posters and stuff. So when I did my video, everything looked good. But I have to do it again because Google was extra. But getting yourself listed on Google Maps is top tier. Getting yourself a domain is also top tier, because if they Google you, your website needs to pop up. The more consistent you are, the more credible you appear to the lenders. And at the end of the day, they want to lend money to the most credible business. Okay. So now let's move on to credibility. A lot going on in this slide. I did give you guys a resource on your dashboard. I gave you the direct links to get your phone number, your address, your email, everything. So when you get to your dashboard after this, just look for your credibility pack. That's what I named it. And you can go to that and pick it out how you want to set it up. But real quick, well, it's not going to be real quick. It's a lot on the screen. Remember in the beginning, I told you, look at your business like a person. You are a person, your business a person. You need a social, your business needs a social. You have a phone number, you have an address, you have an email, your business needs the same thing. Okay. Rule number one, never, ever use your house phone number. Never use your personal cell phone number. You will get denied. When lenders look that up, they can tell. Okay. So now, if you have a commercial building, yeah, you can use a landline from that. But if you don't have a commercial building, don't use the house. Don't even, sometimes the virtual addresses will tell you that they'll be your receptionist and take messages. Don't do that. That's going to get you denied. Okay. If you're going to do a virtual number, you can use Google Voice, but you have to use Google Voice Business. There's a huge difference. If you use Google Voice, the free version, that is a personal version that will get you denied. I know, because we did it. It will get you denied. You have to use the business version. And the good thing about the Google Voice business version is when you sign up with them, they send you a bill every month, and it's a business utility bill. So if you have to verify yourself, verify your business, like say, for example, with Google, and they ask you for a utility bill, and I can tell you, you are going to get asked for a utility bill. Then boom, you have your Google Voice phone bill. So now you've knocked two birds out with one stone. So if you're going to do Google Voice, do Google Voice Business, not the free version. And then you can also use Ring Central, Grasshopper. A lot of people don't know that Zoom Phone actually has a business version. You can use that too in Nextiva. Now, this is a gem. And I literally figured this out, digging and researching like I do. So I have T-Mobile. And when I initially set my LLC up, I did it backwards. And I'll tell y'all how to do it, but I ended up doing it backwards. So I have 3 lines on my account, and I kept one line open because I said, okay, when I start my business, this will be my business line. So I finally get it activated, find out that you cannot use your personal cell phone. So I went down to T-Mobile. I asked them, could they switch my personal account over to a business account? And they're like, yeah, you can do it. The only thing you have to do is show up with your EIN document. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go down there. I gave him my driver's license. I gave him my EIN, switched me over to a business account. Best part is, first of all, the business accounts get better deals. I ended up saving $85. So initially, I was paying $185 for, so technically 4 phones, and then I have home internet. So I had 5 lines because they put the internet on the line. So I had 5 lines, and I was paying $185 minus the fees for the iPhone and all of that. Just the regular bill, I was paying $185. Well, when I switched over to the business account, the guy told me, he said, look, I can give you 10 lines for $100 flat. I was like, huh? Where do I sign up at? 10 lines for $100 flat. But if I got that, I would have had to get a new number. And I've been having my number for 10 years. So I was like, okay, I don't want to do the 10 because I don't want to have to switch to a new account. He said, okay, well, that's fine. We could still do your same 5 lines for the same price. So I'm kind of missing out because I could have got 10 lines. Just in case my business grows, I'll have that, but I'm not going to argue over saving $85. So I went on ahead and switched over. I have all 5 lines for $100 a month, including the internet. So even it's all on a business account. My internet still works in my house. My phone, the kids' phone still work. No numbers changes. And I'm only spending $100. So if T-Mobile does it, I'm 100% sure Verizon, AT&T, they all do it. And the plus side to that is they also are going to send me a bill. So I'll put my business address on the bill. So when they send it to me, now I have that proof. When somebody asks me and I need to verify myself, I have that proof for that utility bill. So listen, I'm finna give y'all all the tea that I have, child. If you don't want to go through the whole looking for a virtual number and all that stuff, just go down to whatever your cell phone provider is and tell them to switch your account. He did it the same day, same number, everything. So now when I log into my T-Mobile app, it just says business on top. So for anybody who has T-Mobile, I'm gonna put the link in the chat because if you use the link that I give you, you get $100 off. So you really will be getting 1 month free. So you get all your lines for $100 flat, and then you get $100 off. So please, y'all, before you try to do anything new, check and see. Let me copy this. Check and see if your cell phone provider can switch you over to a business account. And like I said, if T-Mobile does it, I know AT&T and Verizon and all them do it too. Let me copy this. Okay. There we go. Okay. Business address. This is a big one too. Did I send it? Okay, wait a minute. I didn't send it. Y'all know this is my first time. Just work with me. Hold on. Don't tell me I'm gonna have to do it later. Child, I'm gonna have to do it later. I don't have patience, y'all. I don't know what my problem is. Oh, I know what I did. Hold on. Here we are. Boom, I did it. Okay, that's the T-Mobile link. If you guys have T-Mobile, you don't even have to do all the digging. I gave you the link. Okay, now, business address. Never, ever, 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 ever use your house address. Lenders are going to Google you. Do not forget this. If they Google you and Zillow pops up, har.com pops up, what are the websites, Patrell? if the little housing websites pop up because this is your house address, you are absolutely getting denied. Do not use your house address, okay? You can get a registered agent if you want to do that. And that's like a person that signs up, they actually go through like qualifications and stuff and they sign up to receive your mail. You could do that. Or you can get a virtual address. I suggest you get a virtual address. However, when you're choosing one, do not choose super popular shared spaces. So if there are 1 million people on YouTube talking about this space, the lenders know about it. So just like they know, the lenders know too. Don't choose that. A good way to be able to tell if it's a popular shared space, if you look the space up and there are 50 or more businesses with that same address, no, that's a no. It needs to be less than that, way less than that. Okay. No mail drop or mail forwarding. No, because you can't do business out of a mail drop location or a mail forwarding location. So that's a no. If you cannot find the business address on Google Maps, like I said, they're going to Google you. So if the provider, because when you're signing up for a business address, a virtual one, they'll give you the address first. If you Google it and it doesn't pop up, no, because when the lenders Google you, you're not going to pop up. So that's a no-go. No PO boxes. You can't do business out of a PO box. And if they give you an address with a weird suite number like 1000 Credibility Road, suite 11111, no. Suite 1234, no. Somebody tried to do that to us. It was like 363 Sam Houston or something, and the suite was 363, the same as I was like, child, that is a no. Do not do business with them. This is a big one. When you do find a space and you feel like, okay, I want to select this one, they have to be able to give you either a sign, a lease, or a utility bill. And when I say a sign, you know how when you drive by those businesses and you see that big structure in the front and it has like the little banners with all the different businesses that work out of that building? If they cannot put you on there, no. If they can't put your sign on the door or something like that, no. Because like I said, if Google tries to verify you, they're going to tell you to move the camera around. They're looking for a sign. So if they cannot give you a sign, they cannot give you a lease, so that if you have to verify yourself, you don't have anything to send in to be verified. No, don't waste your money there. I came across 3 companies like that. Luckily, I knew better. I'm like, how are you not going to give me a lease? What if somebody want to see what business I'm working out of? No, do not do business with them. Run away screaming. Now, the workaround for the utility bill is the trick with the Google Voice and the cell phone carrier that you have, switching it over to a business account. Because like I said, they're going to mail you a utility bill and you can use that. But honestly, I feel like if you're signing up for this service and they don't want to work with you to give you either a sign, a lease, or a utility bill, I wouldn't want to spend my money with them anyway. So keep moving. Email and website is non-negotiable. Usually when you sign up for your email address, they ask you, do you want to get a website too that matches? Say yes. Even if you don't want to set the website all the way up, you could just put, when I first started, I signed up for my website, but I didn't have time to just sit down and, set up a whole website. So I just put the under construction little banner on the front page. So when anybody would go to my website, it would say coming soon. You can do that, but you absolutely do need an email with your domain and a website to pop up for when when lenders search you. If you were to email Nike, you're not going to email Nike at yahoo.com. Imagine if you're going to open up an account with a bank and you have to reach out to Chase or Wells Fargo at AOL.com. Like, come on. That looks like a side hustle or a scam or something like that. So make sure you always have your own personal domain and make sure everything is consistent across the board. That's another big one. A lot of people get denied funding because your information is not consistent. So if you create your LLC and your business is like, for me, for example, Premier Tax and Financial Solutions LLC. That's my business name. When I go and set up my phone number with my T-Mobile account, when they initially set it up, I have the AN symbol in my business name. When they initially set it up, they spelled out the word AN, and I had to call them back and tell them, no, you need to change it. It's not the word AN, it's the symbol. Because if you have one thing off, it can get you denied. Everything has to be consistent. So for email, my email is info@ My Premier Tax Solutions LLC. And then my website is mypremiertaxsolutionsllc.com. Now, this is the part I wanted to tell you guys because I ended up doing my setup backwards. So what I did was I was really excited about the business, right? Because remember, I got pushed off the ledge. So I was like, I'm gonna do this. So I get my LLC. I sat because you have to search the name first to make sure nobody else has the name. So I searched the name literally for 30 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot find a name. Everybody had everything. So I finally settled on Premier Tax and Financial Solutions. Pay for LLC, but because I did that first, I had to put my house address on the LLC document and my phone number. Because remember, I had that fourth line open. It wasn't active. So once I got the LLC document, I went and got the phone activated. I went and got the address, the virtual address, and I set up the email, which is why my email is not Premier Tax Solutions, because somebody had already had that. But like I said, I did it backwards. So when I got my phone number and I got my address, I had to go back and do an amendment on my LLC, which you have to pay for, to change the address, to change the phone number. Then I had to reach out to the comptroller and change it. Like I had to pay when, if I would have did it the right way, if I would have first searched the name on the Secretary of State website, made sure the name was free, got the address, got the phone number, did that stuff first, then did my LLC document, I wouldn't have to go back and change because now I have the accurate information to put on the LLC. So don't do it backwards like me. And if you already did, that's okay. Just pay the fee. But make sure everything is consistent across the board. That's the main thing. You don't want anything to be off or it's like a red flag to the lenders. Okay? Are y'all still with me? Give me a 1 in the chat if you are still with me, because I know I said a lot. I also gave you guys, like I said, I gave you a resource. So it's called the Credibility Pack. Go check. You can click on the link, sign up right away. Okay? All right. Now, DUNS number setup. The DUNS number is the Social Security number for your business credit. The EIN is a Social Security. Where did I lose you, Miss Newberry? Let's go back a little bit. I gave you the resource. All you have to do is click on the links on your dashboard and you will go straight to the website. Make sure everything is consistent. Everything is spelled exactly right. Make sure you have your email has your business domain and your website has your business domain. They match. That's really all this slide. Okay, so the proper order, you're going to get your business phone number. Okay, so the first thing you'll do is go to the Secretary of State website to search your business name to make sure nobody else has it. Then when you find the business name, write it down, however you're going to spell it, make sure it's exact. Okay, so then go to, depending on where you want to get your email or set up your website. If you want to do Google, go through Google. If you're going to do WordPress, however you're going to do it, use that same business name and see if the domain is available to be used. Because when I went, I typed in Premier Tax and Financial Solutions and somebody had already had it. That's where I messed up at. So check that to make sure that you can use it against the name that you chose. Then once you have that, get your address and your phone number. Now you haven't paid for your LLC yet. You picked your name, you matched it with your email and your website, the domain, you have your address, you have your phone number for your business. Now you file the LLC. So when you go fill out your documents, the information that you plug into the LLC documents matches everything that you just did. That way you don't have to go back and pay again. You with me now? Okay. Now we go move on. I want to make sure y'all get it. Y'all, like literally, I just like people to win. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Okay, now, so we're going to move over to the DUNS number. The EIN is a Social Security number for your business for the government to find you We understand that. The DUNS number is the social security number for your business credit alone. Okay. It's just about credit. It is free to set up. And I'm going to show you how to do it because I've had people come to me and say, oh, I paid somebody. And I'm like, why do you ask me first? It's very easy. It's free to do. It is the very first thing lenders look for because it's attached to your business credit. Okay. You do need a DUNS number in order to get net 30 accounts. And net 30 accounts is how you start to build your business credit profile. The DUNS number does track and build your business credit history. So that's another reason why it's important. You shouldn't let anybody set it up for you because this tracks your business credit. That's like giving out your social security number. So you absolutely need to get your DUNS number yourself. Okay. So now let me go to the website and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay. So the website is dnb.com. So the first thing we're going to do is, this is the main page. We're going to go to small business. Oh, here we are. Right over here on the side, it says DUNS number. Click here, come down, get a DUNS online. You have to get a DUNS number. It's no point in even finishing the workshop if you don't have a DUNS number, okay? So make sure you do this. Scroll down, it says get started now, and it's going to give you a questionnaire the same way it did for the EIN. Fill this questionnaire out, boom, you have your number. Do not pay anybody to do this for you. It is free, it is easy, and it's your personal business. You don't want people doing this for you, okay? So do not skip DUNS number. You absolutely need it. Now, we're going to do a really quick recap for Module 1 before we move into Module 2, because I want to make sure we're all on the same page. We know, one in the chat if you're with me, okay? You know what your EIN is. You understand the difference between LLC and S Corp. You know that the S Corp is not a business structure. It is a tax filing status, okay? Then you know that the LLC keeps you completely separate from your business. So it is important that you do that. You understand the NAICS code is important and will get you denied for everything in life. So you're going to make sure that you don't have a high-risk NAICS code. You understand that the 411 listing is required for visibility. It's free, it's easy, and I'm going to send you guys the video after this. And you understand that your business has to have a phone number, address, email, and a website. And lastly, we know that the DUNS number is attached to our business credit. Does anybody have questions before we go to Module 2? So this is the structuring part. Okay, the website is dnb.com. This is the structuring part, y'all. And like I said, a lot of people mess up on this part because of something basic. Remember when I said make sure everything is consistent across the board? That's the number, like that's literally the number one thing. If it's like me, if it's Premier Text and with the symbol, make sure everything has the symbol and it's not spelled out. One little mistake can get you denied business funding. Make sure you have an LLC. If you are a sole proprietorship, yeah, you can get funding, but it's not going to be as much money as if you had a LLC because you're like more legit with the LLC. So make sure you have business phone number, business address. You do not want anything attached to your own personal stuff because then it looks like a side hustle. Okay. All right, so now we're going to move in to banking and compliance. Now, this sounds like a boring module, but it's not, y'all, I promise. I just couldn't find like a snazzy little title. So banking and compliance setup. First things first, I want you to understand the difference between a fintech and a traditional bank. A fintech is financial technology. So those are the electronic banks where everything is on the app, everything is online. That's your Chime, that's your Cash App. Those are fintech banks. Traditional bank is the old school, come in, have a seat, give me a bottle of water and let's talk. So that's Wells Fargo, that's Chase, Bank of America. Now, both banks are okay. However, always remember that although fintechs are easier to like deal with, it's easy to get, I'm not gonna say it's easy to get approvals, but it's not as difficult as traditional banks. Traditional banks carry more weight in business funding. So if you were to apply for a business credit card with a fintech, you might get $6,000, $7,000. But if you apply for a business card with a traditional bank, they might give you 10, 15, 20,000 because they carry more weight. Okay. Another thing I want you to know about the traditional banks, sometimes the traditional banks pull your credit without you knowing. So I know for sure PNC will do a credit pull on you and not tell you. And I always see PNC on YouTube. So when you set up your business bank account, you know how when you first set it up, sometimes they'll ask you, do you want overdraft protection? Sometimes they do a credit check for that. If you open your business account, and Chase did this to me, they'll ask you, oh, do you want to add a business credit card to go along with it? They will pull your credit for that. And you need your credit to be top tier for your business funding. So when you open up your business bank account, say no to everything. The only thing you need is the account. You're not going to worry about doing anything extra until further down the line because you don't want them pulling your credit too soon and messing you up. Okay, so the most important thing about this slide is traditional banks carry more weight than fintechs. Fintechs are cool, but if we want real money, we're going to go through a traditional bank, and they do credit checks. They also report to the business credit bureaus. They don't report like your transactions, but they do report how long your account has been open. If you have like overdrafts and return checks, like they report stuff like that. So be mindful. I did give you guys a resource for this too. It's a bank comparison chart. So I have fintechs on one side, traditional banks, and then it tells you what the bank is best known for, like what are the benefits of the bank, if they do a credit pull or not, what you need in order to open the account, like what the requirements are. And I think that's it. So check that out too. Now, one in the chat, if you have seen TikTok, YouTube video where they talk to a friend and they tell you, oh, go open your business bank account and then start your business and just keep it moving. No, a credit union would be considered a traditional bank. It's the brick and mortar banks. So when you see, first off, let me just say, you need more than one business bank account. Don't be like me. I watched the YouTube videos. My husband and I, we started us a Navy Federal account, thought that was it, got denied. Because that's not it. You need more than one business bank account, and I'm going to tell you why. When I explain it to you, I promise it's going to make sense. Okay, so I'm sorry, I keep saying business. Lenders like systems, structure, and order. So keep that in mind. System, structure, and order. They like for everything to be clean, everything to be easy to find, everything to be neat because it makes you look more credible. Okay. If you have one bank account, everything is happening in this one account. That's chaos. That is not systems. That's not order. That can get you denied. So I suggest you open at least 4 different accounts. Businesses that get big funding, they have way more accounts than this, but that's another conversation. But I suggest you start with at least 4. So the first account I suggest you open is your income account. Now, this is usually the first business bank account you open. So if you already have a business bank account, this is going to be your income account. Your income account is where all of your money hits when you receive payments from clients. So if you do digital sales and all the money gets deposited to you, that would be your income account. If you accept cash app payments, all that stuff lands into this one account. That's your income account. That account has everything going on. That's like you when you get off from a long day at work, you get home, kids are everywhere, husband, wife asking for stuff, phone ringing, noise outside. It's a lot going on. That is your income account. That is not an account you want to show to a lender for business funding because it's chaotic. It's crazy. You also need a presentation account. Now, this account is your squeaky clean account. This is the account that you show to the lenders. So for your presentation account, we don't have money coming from everywhere. We do not have withdrawals coming from everywhere. Everything is structured. Everything is clean. We absolutely never, ever have overdraft fees, return checks, nothing negative goes on in this presentation account. So the presentation account is you when you go out on an interview and you put on your best clothes, you put on your Sunday best, you have your hair done, fresh cut, you start to speak all extra professional. That is your presentation account. Okay. In addition to that, I suggest you have an expense account. This is the reason why. If I'm a lender and I'm going through your bank statements and I'm trying to research how much you're spending on, just say, marketing. I do not want to go through 4 and 5 different bank statements, 8, 10 pages. I'm just going to deny you because I don't have time for this. Lenders like organization. So if you have an expense account that only holds your expenses, everything is easier to find. Now, just because I'm saying that you have to have different accounts doesn't mean you have to go with different banks. You know that you can open multiple accounts with one bank, right? So if you open a Chase account, you can have your presentation account and open an additional checking and have your expense account. You can do it like that. The only thing I suggest you not do is have your income account in the same bank that you have your presentation account. The reason is because if you just say your income and your presentation account is with Wells Fargo, and you apply for a business credit card with Wells Fargo, even though you only want them to see your presentation account, it's Wells Fargo, they can see your entire banking history. So they can still look at your income account, and you don't want them to see your mess. We leave our mess at home. So you can have your presentation account, your expense account, and your profit account with the same bank, but for sure, your income account needs to be separate. Okay. And then also remember, the traditional banks hold more weight. So your presentation account has to be with a traditional bank, not with a fintech. Okay. Now, the next account I suggest you open is a profit account. The profit account is what it says. It's the account that you send all of your profit to. Okay, KJ, I'm gonna repeat it. So the profit account is where you send all of your profit to. A lot of people get denied because you don't pay yourself. You have to pay yourself. When you pay yourself, it doesn't have to be a crazy amount, but you do need to pay yourself. When you pay yourself, it needs to come out of your profit account. The reason why I say they get denied is because if a lender is looking through your documents and they see that you're not paying yourself, it looks like you can't afford to pay yourself. And they want to fund businesses that are profitable. So if you cannot afford to pay yourself, that means you're not profitable. They don't expect your business to just grow and generate all this money and you living off pennies and dimes. They know better than that. So you definitely need to make owner withdrawals from your profit account. It does not have to be crazy. It just needs to be structured. So if you have, just say, $400 in your profit account, don't go take $350 out. Make it structured. Don't take $20 out every Friday. Make it make sense. Because if you don't pay yourself, they're going to assume you cannot afford to pay yourself. So for KJ, your income account is going to be your account that all of your money from your business lands into first. That's your crazy account. That's you when you get off from work and everything is crazy at home. Never, ever, 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 ever show a lender your income account because it's not structured, it's not neat, it's not clean. Your presentation account is the account that you want to show to your lenders. So no overdraft fees, no return checks. Don't even pull money out. We could put money in the presentation account. We're going to structure it and put it in the right way, but don't pull money out of your presentation account. You have the money sent from your presentation account to the rest of the accounts. And then you have your expense account. That is going to be the account that all of your expenses come out of. So you can set a percentage and have that money transferred over however frequently, like every 2 weeks or every week or every month or whatever, and then have your expenses come out of that account. So that when lenders are trying to research what you're spending your money on, they can go straight to the expense account, find it, and keep going. You know how when you have people coming around, like a health inspector comes, you don't want them to just be digging. They might find something they don't need to see. So you want to make everything easy. So all of your expenses will come out of your expense account, and your profit account is where you send your profit, but also where you take your owner withdrawals. Don't take it from the expense account. It comes out of the profit account. And you have to take owner withdrawals because if you do not pay yourself, they're going to assume you cannot afford to pay yourself. You can't look thirsty. You have to look like you don't need the money. So make sure it looks like that and you're going to be good to go. Now, I suggest also, I didn't put it on this slide because it's your choice, but I started in tax preparation. So I would suggest you also open a business savings account, send 20% of your revenue into your savings account so that you can pay your quarterly taxes because you have to pay taxes on your money. So That's up to you. If you want to do it, if you don't, that's fine. But I suggest you open a business savings account, have 20% sent to there. So when you have to pay your quarterly taxes, it's already there. You don't have to be stressed out at the end of the year, paying all this money, pulling your hair out. You already have a structure. Should an income? Yes. So an income account should never be in the same with the same bank of the rest of the accounts, because you don't want anybody to see that. That's your business. Keep that to yourself. Definitely not in the same bank as the presentation account. And the presentation account has to always be with a traditional bank, because that's going to be the account that you show to lenders, and you want to show lenders a Bank of America statement versus a Chime statement or a Cash App statement, right? So the presentation account has to be with a traditional bank. No problem, KJ. Okay, so things to remember, just a quick recap. Presentation account must always remain clean and organized. No crazy withdrawals, no overdraft fees, no return checks. If you run payroll, it comes out of your expense account, not your profit account. A couple people messed that up too and ended up getting denied. Payroll always comes from your expense account. You may take owner withdrawals. I should have said you must. You must take owner withdrawals, but make sure to keep it controlled. Don't pull crazy money out sporadically. Don't pull money out every day. Make it make sense, because you're a business at the end of the day. Okay. Now, payment processors. This is a good one. Give me a stressed emoji face in the chat if you accept Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, Chime, and PayPal payments from your clients. Who accepts Cash App, I'm saying Venmo, Zelle, Chime? Not Nadia. Listen, I did too. Don't do this. This is a red flag, KJ. This is a red flag. So when lenders see Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, Chime, all of that, it looks like a side hustle. It looks like you're just getting money from, my sister just sent me $20. It does not look professional. Don't do this. So if you were to, for example, because I know y'all are probably like, okay, well, that's how people pay. How am I supposed to get money? Now, if you sign up for the payment processors that lenders respect, Square, Stripe, you can do PayPal, but PayPal does have a personal version and a business version. The way to know which one you're using, because I know we've all dealt with PayPal before. Who hasn't? So if your clients have ever asked you, am I sending this money to a friend or am I paying for goods and services? You know how it'll ask you to choose one? If it asks you to choose one, that's the personal version. That's not the business version. The business version does not ask. It'll just go straight to goods and services because it's a business. It has to be goods and services. So if your clients have asked you that question, how do I send money to you? Do I select goods and services, or that's the personal version and you need to switch your account over to the business version? So when you have Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, it looks like a personal situation. It does not look like a business is running the organization. That will get you denied, because they only want to fund businesses. They do not want to fund side hustles. So if you go to Nike, let's just say Nike's my favorite tonight. If you go to Nike.com, you buy a pair of shoes, you pay for it with your Cash App card, right? But Nike is not taking a direct Cash App payment from you. You're putting your information into their payment processor, which is probably Stripe or something like that. That's how you should have your business set up. If you use Square, you can send invoices. That's fine, because it's going through Square. And if they pay with their Cash App card, it's not going to come to your bank account as Cash App. It's going to come through Square. That's how you set it up. If you have the little thing that Square has where you hook it up to your phone and they pay for it with their Venmo card, it's going to come to your account as Square. It's not going to come to you as Venmo. That's how you have to set it up. Do not take direct. Don't say Cash App me for this. No, don't do that. You need to use the professional, business respected payment processor. This is a very, very quick way to get denied business funding. Okay, so Ms. Newberry, we are not doing this anymore. Don't I did that and didn't know what was going on. Then I figured it out. You cannot accept payments like that. Okay. Now, deposit labeling. When you're sending your money through your account, because remember we have those different accounts, and you can funnel the money into your presentation account. Every deposit that you send through has to have a memo label, and it has to be filled out. No blank memo labels, no smiley faces, no child support payment, loan from mom, cash out from cousin, money that Sandra paid me back. No, everything has to replicate what you do in your business. Okay, so a lender don't ever leave, because remember, the lenders are going to look over your bank statements. So if you have a deposit and it's labeled cash out from mom, we already know that's getting denied. But just say you label it deposit. If the lender has to say deposit for what? No. That is going to get you denied as well. They like structure, they like systems. Okay. So in all of your memo fields, plug in something that makes sense, something that matches up with the product that you offer, something that matches your services. When they look at your bank statement, they should be able to tell what type of business you run without you even explaining yourself. So say you're a makeup artist. I guess I'm a makeup artist tonight. And you receive a $500 deposit for a bridal party. Just say you're doing makeup for the bridal party. Don't put in the memo field deposit, because the lenders are going to say deposit for what? But you can put in deposit for a bridal party May 16th, 2025. So they don't have to say, oh, what is this for? It's clear. It's for the makeup for the bridal party. And it matches what I do. I'm a makeup artist. Of course, that's what it is. If you are KJ, I get it. This is for the presentation account. So if you get, just say you are, for me, for example, I do tax preparation as well, right? So if I receive a payment, I can label it as deposit for consultation, for tax planning consultation on April the 1st, 2025. Like, make sure you have in the memo what the deposit is for, and you are very specific to where the lenders don't have to say for what, and it matches your business. Okay. Y'all are with me on the deposit labeling? And I have the VIP coin there because for my VIPs, I have created a deposit label list. I gave you a list of acceptable deposit labels that you can plug in to your transactions so that your lenders see your bank statements and view them as credible. Okay, so I have given you 25 deposit labels. And if there's something that doesn't match your business, like just use the wedding example I use. You can swap it out for whatever your business is. So you are set up for success. Flow of the money from the income to the present. Yes, exactly, KJ. And actually in my day 3, I'm going to show you exactly how to structure your payment so that it flows smoothly and you don't have to worry about it. You can put it on autopilot. If you want to be VIP, go to your dashboard. Next to my face, there's a VIP coin. You click on it, it'll take you right to the VIP page. No problem, KJ. Okay, last slide for today. 90-day rule. You are going to hear me say 90-day rules a lot of times because in business funding, that's literally the magic number. Everything that you do has to be compliant and consistent for at least 90 days. Okay. So for lenders, when you're just starting out, they give you the 30-day window. That is like when you put a blanket on the floor, you put a baby on their tummy, and they kind of that's how they look at you. They're like, oh, they're just now starting now. Let's just see what they're about to do. And then 60 days is when the baby is crawling. So they're like, oh, okay, I see they trying to get somewhere. They trying to get it done. All right. But they still not taking you seriously. They just watching you. Then when you get to 90 days, you're walking. So now it's like, okay, now we can lend them some money. Now I have had people apply for business funding too early. And if you apply for business funding too early, you're going to get denied, of course, because you have not proven yourself worthy, let's just say, of the money. But with a lot of banks, when they deny you, you are like, you cannot reapply like for another year or so. So I would rather you wait it out, just be patient, do the full 90 days and apply when you're ready versus applying too early. Now you have to wait a whole nother year before you can reapply. So everything that you do 90 days. Your LLC, you need to have it for 90 days. Your bank account, 90 days. Your money flowing through your account, everything has to be 90 days. Okay, y'all with me on the 90 days? Please don't apply early and get locked out. My feelings are going to be hurt. Don't do that. Okay, so we have reached the end. I'm going to do another quick recap. You guys understand what the difference between a fintech and a traditional bank. The fintech is the financial technology. That's your Chime, that's Cash App. I can't think of any more. And the traditional bank, that is the one that holds the most weight. That's your Chase, that's your Wells Fargo, your Bank of America. Although you do have to do more work with the traditional bank, I promise it's worth it. Fintechs are going to give you 6,000, 7,000. Traditional banks will give you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So it's worth it. Presentation account always in the traditional bank, not the fintech. Payment processors, no Cash App, no Venmo, no Zelle. That looks like a side hustle. Structure it the right way so that your payments come to your account from the respected payment processor. 3 to 4 bank accounts. Do not open just one bank account and ride it out with that one bank account. That is not going to work. You have to have a system in place. It has to be structured. It has to be in order so that when lenders are going through your documents, everything is easy to find. It's a quick approval. You don't have to go through the motions. Presentation account, always squeaky clean. Do not make random withdrawals from your presentation account. Like this needs to be your baby. Okay, no overdraft fees, no return checks. Everything needs to be clean with the presentation account. Labeling deposits, do not leave room for the lenders to question what you do. Make it clear, make it obvious, and make it match with your business. And the 90-day rule is everything needs to be consistent and compliant for at least 90 days, or you can get denied and have to wait to reapply for another year. And we do not have that type of time. Okay, now, for your homework, before you guys come back tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to go over Net 30. And I told my people that were here early, for my late joiners, Net 30 is an information-heavy day because Net 30 takes a lot of strategy. I have the strategy for you, and I wanted to register and make sense. So we're going to go over Net 30 accounts and how to build your business credit so that when it comes time for you to, we're going to go all the way up until it's time for you to ask for 6 figures. You'll be prepared. You'll look good on paper. Okay. So that's a heavy day. That's the only thing I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So today I want you to go over your bank comparison chart, look at the fintechs, look at the traditional banks, look at what credit bureaus they report to, and then assign which bank does what. Is this the presentation account? Is this the expense account? Label it how you want to set it up. Then audit your own business bank account, because I know a lot of us, we have a business bank account because we got that one. Go through your transactions, go through your statements. If you have just a lot going on, a lot of Cash App, a lot of Zelle, a lot of Venmo, you might have to just let it go. But if you don't have too much going on, you can use that account in your setup. So just check it and make sure. And remember, just because I'm saying that you need 3 to 4 different bank accounts does not mean it has to be 3 to 4 different banks. You can open all the accounts with one bank, but just make sure the income account is completely separate from the presentation account. Okay, so now let's go ahead and open the floor up for questions. What did KJ say? Direct. Who got bought by Chase earlier? Who got bought by Chase earlier considered a traditional bank? I don't think I understand the question. Post y'all's questions in the chat. Let me make this a little bigger now that I can see everybody. Does anybody have questions? KJ, I don't understand your question. Post your questions in the chat because I want to make sure that you understood everything I told you and you can actually use this information and put it to use. Yes, Chase is a traditional bank. The history does matter because if you apply for business funding with Chase, Chase can pull your entire bank history. They're not going to just look at what you want them to look at because it's their franchise. They're going to look at everything. So if you have some shady stuff way back when, We're gonna leave Chase alone. At least for the presentation account. We're not gonna put Chase, we're not gonna put our presentation account, we're not gonna set our presentation account up with Chase. Okay. Does anybody else have questions? And for my people who came in late, never fear, I am gonna prepare a replay at the end of the 3-day workshop. So if you missed it, you can go through it at your own leisure. And for my VIPs, you will have access to the replay for the first 72 hours before I edit it. And then when I edit it, it will go up for sale. So VIPs, don't worry, you automatically have access to the replays. Does anybody else have any more questions? I did good, y'all. It's 8:27. I told you I was not going to waste your time. Did anybody learn anything new today that you didn't know before? If you did, say yes in the chat. If you didn't, say no. My feelings will not be hurt. I know we're all on different levels. So if you didn't, my feelings won't be hurt, but you will. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, y'all, do y'all have any more questions for me before I let you go? And then I'll see you back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. so we can talk about net 30 accounts. Thank you, Miss Jackie. Yes, yes, Miss Newberry. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm here for. Like, oh, I want y'all to win so bad. You just don't know. Okay, y'all. If y'all have no more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. I'll see y'all here tomorrow, 7 p.m., and we're gonna go into net 30 accounts. Okay. Thank you guys for coming. Mm-mm-mm-mm.